Hey everyone, welcome back to the Wyoming Knits YouTube channel. My name is Jenny Lee and this is my channel where I like to talk about all the things that I've been knitting on over the past week. Today is Sunday, March 22nd, 2026, and this is episode 131. You can find me on Instagram as Jenny Lee Knits, and you can find me on Ravelry as Jenny Lee S Knits. And today I'm coming to you from a beautiful sunny southwest Wyoming where I live with my husband, our daughter, and our little Yorkie Dax. It is currently 58 degrees outside. It's a little breezy, but it's feeling pretty nice out there. We have beautiful blue skies, and it has been a great end to my spring break this last week, so I am almost ready to go back to school on Monday. It has been a nice break to just stay home and relax and knit. So let's talk about what I'm wearing. Today I'm wearing my Maema cardigan that I knit out of Mama Jess Knits yarn. I ordered this purple. It's called Shades of Purple. It was the April mystery set from last year, and I knew it was going to be mostly purple, and so I just ordered 3 skeins of it, knowing that I would probably make a sweater out of it. It's got this beautiful honeycomb brioche texture, and then the sleeves are stockinette. It's got a twisted rib detail on the collar, and I guess this is a button band. There's no buttons. It goes, let's see, let's adjust and see if you can see the whole thing. And then here is the back. It's got the honeycomb brioche on the back. I hope you could see that. So I will have this linked in the description box below, my project page with the yarn that I used and the pattern that I used. It is the Maema by Pip and Pin. They do have a Maema DK. It does have shorter sleeves. This goes to about my elbow. I do like to wear it on days that it's nice and warm, but I want something to cover my arms. And then the next thing is my Lakes pullover. I finished my Lakes pullover. So finished objects, my Lakes pullover. I did get that finished. It starts out with saddle shoulders, and then, let's see, we'll move this closer. Starts out with the saddle shoulders. So you make this panel on this side and the panel on the other side. You pick up stitches along the back and knit down on both sides. You pick up the stitches, you cast on stitches, and you pick up more. Then you knit down to about here where you're going to stop and pick up your sleeve stitches, but you got to pick up the stitches on the front and do some increases, pick up stitches on this other front, do some increases, connect them, then knit both panels down until you get to the same length as the back. Then you start knitting in the round, and you knit the body in the round, and then you come back and you pick up stitches along the sleeve and the saddle stitches that were on hold. Then you knit the sleeves while decreasing. My gauge was a little off, so my decreases, by the time I was done doing all the decreases, I didn't need as much length in my cuff, and all the cuffs are just a 1 by 1. The bottom hem is 1x1 for I think 4 inches, and then I did a tubular bind off. Actually, I did the sewn Italian bind off because I did not do the setup round before, so that's the sewn Italian bind off, I think, not the tubular. And then I did tubular bind off on the sleeves, and then I came back and picked up the stitches for the neck, and you knit 4 inches for the neck, and then you bind off as you knit 2 together. It said to do a stretchy bind off, and in the pattern it does have a stretchy bind off that you can use, but I just did so I did my knit stitch, knit through, knit 2 together and bind off. Then I did a knit stitch, bind off, knit 2 together, bind off, knit stitch, bind off, knit 2 together, bind off. So every other stitch I was picking up where I picked up stitches, I was doing a knit 2 together at the bottom, and that makes it pretty stretchy. It doesn't make it really tight around your neck. I think that was in a petite knit pattern that I did, probably the Monday sweater, either the Monday sweater or the storm sweater that I did. It had that bind off where you do every other one, and I really liked how that didn't make it too structured that it didn't move at all. You still had that little bit of stretch in the neckline. And then I finished this last night. I have not blocked it yet, so I will probably just steam block it or throw it in the washer and dryer. This is a big twist yarn. I have my leftover right here. I have leftover and like a little bit. This is like 1.5 grams. I'm going to stick it in there with that. And this, I used a little bit of this, pulled from the center, so it's not a full 100 grams. It's a little less than that. I used 511.5 grams on this sweater, so I had 6 cakes. So there's probably 80 something grams left in here. This is the Big Twist Fleck in the color Ice Cream Cake. It is, it says right here, where did it go? 85% acrylic, 10% polyamide, and 5% linen. And it says machine washable, low iron, do not bleach, do not tumble dry, dry flat. So I'll probably throw it in the washer and then let it dry flat, just to block it. I love how it has all the flecks in there, all the different colors. You can barely see it, but when you get close you can see all the colors. So that was my only finished object this time. Let's talk about works in progress. So the first work in progress I have is living in this Molly Klein Designs bag. This is, I got this bag with a sock set. I still have not knit up the sock set. I got this yarn, Dream in Color. This is the Smooshy Cashmere, the mixed tape color. I got this at the Yarn in the Tail last, I want to say last April, when I went for local yarn store day. And this is how it is knitting up. I was right here last time. These socks are going to be a gift for one of the ladies that I work with. Her favorite color is teal, and she's a 90s kid. So I decided that these colors would be something that she might like. So I'm just working on the foot. I think I'm through the gusset stitches, the gusset decrease, yes. through the gusset decrease. I still have my marker on there because I was not at home when I finished my decreases. So this is still the first sock. This is the String of Lights by Sock Witchery. I cast on 64 stitches using a US 0 9-inch circular needle. This is a 2mm. Then I did a 2x2 rib for 20 rounds, and then I started in on the String of Lights pattern. And this is what it looks like in the cake. So I'm just working on this every once in a while. Her birthday was in February, and I didn't get it finished for her birthday, so hopefully I can have it finished before the end of the school year. And that's the only sock I worked on this week. Then I worked on this project. It is in a Fates thread bag. Fates thread is no longer making bags, and I'm using Yarn Cafe Creations, and this is her color Prickly Pear, and I'm doing the Anacortes Pullover by Michele Fraz Knits, or Michele Frazzetta. And I was right here last time. I am still doing raglan increases. I love this line. I think there is one spot where I don't know if I twisted my stitches or what happened, but this raglan line is supposed to be twisted rib stitch, because you go from the twisted rib on the collar. I did something weird right there. I don't know what I did. But I think I did something weird right here. Hopefully when I block it, it'll look fine, but it's gonna be like right up here on the shoulder where it'll stretch anyway, and it'll probably look fine. It looks like I also slipped it, but maybe not. I don't know. I didn't catch. Oh, yep. I laddered down to fix it, and I missed a stitch, so I might go back and fix that, or I might just leave it and just let it be a design feature in there, right there on the shoulder. Hopefully it's in the back of the shoulder and nobody will notice. Actually, I think it's right here, but that's okay. So I'll just keep working on this. I think it's going to turn out so beautiful with the variegated yarn and the broken rib pattern. I do like those colors together, or I do like this color. So that is that project. Then I pulled out this project. This is a Sassy Sacks. The link to all of the bags that I use, if the bag maker is still making bags, will be in the description box below, with where I bought the yarn. This is a cardigan for my daughter. She asked if I could make her the Stria cardigan, and I said yes. I was right here last time. I have done 1, 2, 3 more stripes and put the sleeves on hold. So right now we have she asked me, she saw one of the podcasts I was watching, and she saw the cardigan they were wearing, and I said, oh, she said, Mom, I want that sweater, but I want it in red, white, and blue. Can you make me that? And I said, yeah, I already have one of those. I've already made one. Yeah, I could make you one. And she's like, you did? You already made one? I said, yeah. My gray one with the stripes. I have it right here. Let me grab it. So this one. So I already made this one. And I used Knit Picks, Stroll Tweed in Earl Grey, and then I had a mini set from Happy Mermaid Yarn Co. that I used, and then I had, I think there was 1 or 2 other colors in here that were just either row 1 minis or minis that I had in stash. So I have made one of these already. She wants red, white, and blue. So I will keep working on this. This is at the part where I don't have to look at the pattern anymore, and I can just go back and forth. You count so many rows of the white, and then you do your next stripe, and then you do so many rows of the white, and then you do your next stripe. So it'll be pretty easy. I think, I'm not sure how many stripes I have to do. I'll have to count that and see how many more stripes I have to do. But she's excited that I've been working on this again. I showed it to her and she goes, oh, you got pretty far. So I've been working on this one. I'm using Knit Picks Bear Yarn, Strawberry, and Serene in the Stroll. This one's the tag for the bear yarn. And then I have the Strawberry and Serene. This is a 75% fine superwash merino and 20% nylon. 231 yards per 50 grams, and I'm pretty sure I can get all of the stripes using just these 2 50-gram balls. And then I did get 1, 2, 3, 4 of the Stroll, the bear, for the white. I asked her if she wanted bright white or if the bear would be fine, and she said yes, the bear would be fine because it's kind of an off-white, and she said she liked that. Then I worked on, what did I work on? I worked on this project. I put this on hold for a week, well, probably 2 weeks, week and a half, and pulled it out a couple days ago and did some more work on it. So this is what I have so far, and I'm all tangled in all the yarn because I have not cut any of the colors. I'm just carrying them up the side. I'm very, very tangled. Let's see. There we go. Okay. So this is what we've got so far. I was right here where this cute little rubber ducky is. Last time I had just finished this yellow stripe. I did purple, pink, green, purple again. So 1, 2, 3, 4 colors. 4 more stripes in 2 weeks. I love the way this is turning out. I might be knitting this on a bigger needle than what the yarn lengths because I keep splitting some stitches. So like right there. Uh-oh, I think someone's home. Let me shut the door. That way they're not loud when they come in. They'll know that I'm recording. So I have split a couple of the stitches as I've been working on it. I think to remedy that would be to go down a needle size, but I don't want to pull this all out. So I'm going to keep going with what I got and just try to be careful. I will try to catch up to where I need to be. Today I need to have 22 little honeycombs. I do not. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I am 12 days behind on this, but that's okay. I'll get caught up eventually. No rush on this. I'm hoping for it to be a Christmas present. So I have time. I am using the Loops and Threads Flecks, and the colors I am using are Sunshine for the yellow, Peachy is the pink color, let's see, so I have Sunshine, I have Peachy, and we have Violet and Seafoam. And every time I pull these out, I get even more tangled. So let's put all of that back in there. And last week I talked about how I really wanted to work on my memory blanket. I had seen some other people working on their blankets, and it just inspired me to get mine back out and work on it. I had a whole bunch of yarn in my basket. That I wanted to work through, and now it is not as full. I did, oh, how many? I have my notes right here, and I wrote down, one day I did 6 squares, the next day I did 3 squares, then the next day I did 4 squares, and then I did 8 squares. Let's see, it's 15, 21. I did 21 squares this week. And I will show those to you. I did weave in all my ends from the row below. So most of my ends are woven in on the back side. And last time I showed it, I had just finished this square, and this was my last square of 2025, and then I put in all of these squares to the end, and then started the next row. These two I held together in my Doppio sweater. This was Christmas socks for my mother-in-law, my Halloween socks. I had not put in the yarn for my Maema yet, so I put that one in. Then these are my Thanksgiving socks. This was the November yarn from Mama Jess, her sock set. Then I had a Christmas yarn, and this was from Dragon Horde Yarn, and it came with these 2 minis. And that is where I stopped. This is almost big enough to fit on my queen size bed. I laid it out and I looked at it, and I think I have about 8 more rows to go, and then I'm finished. I can put on the border, so that will motivate me to get some more done on that. The pattern I used when I was ready to start this, I started this in 2022 in the summer, I think in June or July of 2022, and I looked and looked for a pattern on Ravelry, and I could not find a free one, and so I looked online and I found a mitered square tutorial on a blog post from, ooh, it'll be up here, and I followed that tutorial, and that's how I've been making my squares. I do 20 by 20, so I cast on 40 stitches and then decrease in the middle, and then I did start out in the corner and get bigger and bigger and bigger, and then I just started going across the rows as I made it big enough to fit, to kind of fit on my queen size bed. So that is everything I worked on. I did get some yarn in the mail. I got my February Mama Jess mystery yarn. This is Frosty February. It is beautiful. So I got the sock set. Then I had placed an order from Yarn Cafe Creations. She's having a clearance sale where she is clearing out all of her old yarn, and I got 5 skeins of this purple. This is Juicy Berry on Biscotti DK, 85% superwash merino, 15% nylon, 245 yards per 100 grams. So this is going to be a beautiful tonal sweater. I just have to decide which one I want to make. Can't decide if I want to do the Prospect pullover in this, or if there's a different one that I want to do. I have 5 skeins, so we will see. With my legs pullover and all the yarn that I put into my memory blanket, as these came in, I am only positive 35 grams of yarn so far this month. So I have knit almost as much as I've brought in. So I have like a third of a skein that I have not knit out yet. So that's exciting. Hopefully next week I can have some more yarn out and I will be in the negative for this month. I think that's all I had for you today. Leave a comment with any questions you had for me. Let me know what you're working on today as you're watching this. How is your weather? My weather has been beautiful, windy, but beautiful all week. I've heard other people say that they've got snow, or it's been super cold and then super hot. Let me know what your weather has been like, what you're knitting on, or any questions you have for me. And I will see you next Sunday. Until then, happy knitting.